How you doing, people? Make a small video talking about carburetors and stuff like that, or small little modifications, maybe you want to call it, or improve your carburetors. This is a set of 44 IDFs. They're practically new, but they need to be cleaned up. Anyways, I'm going to talk to you guys about the casting on these carburetors. A lot of these carburetors, they have flash casting that is not good, it's so nasty and stuff like that. So right now I want to take the Venturis out. I already started this one, but I'm gonna usually on this Venturi for this is the 36 millimeter Venturi. It has like a lip here, it's pretty pronounced, and it's rough. I already did one carburetor. I polished the Venturi, and I removed that right here. There is a small, step lip, that is rough. It's pretty rough. So I'm gonna start with a Dremel. So what I'm using a Dremel. One is Scotch-Brite 1200, and the steel wool, and this cleaner. So very gently we're gonna remove that in there. Very gently. I already did this one, so I removed that little ridge here. So I'm gonna remove it. It's already removed now. So now I'm gonna spray some of this. I'm not gonna say what it is now. Maybe if I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll talk about it. But this right here, I'm gonna use it around where that ridge is. I'm gonna smooth it out. Okay. This Venturi now is about 40% smoother. The reason I do this because this does help some. Okay. I try to restrict the flow on my carburetors. I start pouring from the top of the carburetor here. I make sure that they're all the same. I remove this this flash casting right here. Excuse me. And I poured it, and I, make it nice and smooth. I already did this to my 1776. I was able to make on that car, on that engine, 140 horsepower to the wheels with dual 40s. And all I, started tuning the the carburetor, the fuel ratio, fuel. So I started with about 80 horsepower. We did a little air fuel ratio, brought it up to like 90 something. Then I put an MSD on it. I tuned them at 105 horsepower. Then the last thing that I did, I had my 28 millimeter Venturis on my 40s, and I made them to 30 millimeters. But I changed the degree in the Venturi itself. Okay, I had an acquaintance in my machine shop. He helped me out. We bored it over from 28 to 30 millimeters and 32 millimeters in the bottom. But we made it kind of like this, In the future for these carburetors, I might go with a little bit smaller. I might go with like a 33 Venturi and change the degree inside. This right here, on this Venturi, they have different angles. Some carburetors have certain amount of degrees. So I'm gonna experiment with that. Well, like I was saying, regarding the carburetors that I was working before, I made those Venturis. I took it back to the dyno. Months later, I spent about 2 hours. I got the things done. Then, the next day, I spent 2 hours. Taking the carburetors out, cleaning them up. I poured it up. Like I said, poured the casting around the plate and whatever. I polished it inside. I put the Venturis on it. I went to the dyno. we started with 120 horsepower, just with putting the Venturis. No fuel ratio change, nothing. Then we gave it a second pass, and I decided to go up on the jet just a little bit. Car made about 128 horsepower. Then I removed the muffler and changed the jetting again. Made about 132, 25. And then we removed the belt, and we were making 140 horsepower to the wheels and 158 of torque, just by changing the Venturis, changing the fuel ratio, and like I said, pouring the carburetors out, cleaning them up. And that was an engine with stock size header. Then I did it second time, like 6 months, 7 months later. I went back to the dyno, and I did another dyno session with a single 44, the other carburetor to this one, and we started with 119 horsepower, and then we started messing with the air fuel ratio because my car was running lean. If you step on the throttle all the way, the mixture was almost 17.1. So we had to richen it up a lot. I was running 140 mains, 200 air, something like that. We started improving little by little. We ended up making 130 horsepower and 160 pounds of torque with a single 44, polished and cleaned up. And we made that horsepower at a faster RPM. The only thing is, the engine started getting tired after a while. We gave it like 6-7 passes, and but I left there happy, because with one carburetor. The only difference this time was one carburetor and an 1.58" header. So that engine is out of the car now. So I'm making a future rebuild on it. I'm gonna make some upgrades on it. See if we can make it at least 150 horsepower, 155 horsepower to the wheels. Which is making about 140 to the wheels, but I would like to improve it some more for a 1776, humble build, no big carburetors, And yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to mention to you guys. So anyways, right now I got this right here. Nice and cleaned up somewhat. And you can start seeing the transformation. Look at the difference inside this one. It's kind of rough. You can't tell that much with the camera, but you can see it's starting to shine, starting to come. This was really rough. So right now we got it like this. Concentrating too on that little ridge that it has. Anyways, I wanted to make the video a little shorter, but I don't have an editing. I'm just using my phone. But anyways, right now we're improving this right here. So I'll give it a little bit more right here. Now I'm gonna change up to this type of disc, fan disc. And just go lightly with it. I'm just cleaning it up little by little. Alrighty, now we're gonna go back to this. I'm gonna have to give me some type of makes my own little wheel, so it'll take this type of whatever you call it. But anyways, we're improving it right now. That has improved significantly. Now we're about 50%. with this type of cleaner, it helps out so much. If I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll start mentioning about it. You guys will love it. I'm not kidding, you know. Anyways, now we're gonna do a little bit of the 1000 grit. A little bit of this magic spray. Works for so many different things. It's not even funny. But right here, concentrating again on the little ridge. These Venturis are, I think it's 36 on the top and like 39, almost 40 at the bottom. I can't remember. But we're gonna make it different. I'm gonna make my own one, change the degree on it like I mentioned. So that's what I wanted to mention to you guys. I'll try and make another video of the finished product. But right now we're improving the Venturi. If you know how to do it, you know, I recommend it. You know, I do it to all my carburetors, you know. I can't afford to buy big 48 carburetors, you know, it's a lot of money. So I like to upgrade my own carburation, you know, I do the best that I can. I like to test different things, you know. Like I said, humble build, you know. Yeah, I'm using one of those sprayers for deodorizing pet smells, but magic liquids in there. Look at that. I wish you can see it with a better detail. Look at the difference between this one right here. It's rough, it doesn't shine or anything. It's very rough when you run your finger to it. This one's nice and smooth. So we're gonna smooth it out. So we're gonna go still with the 1200 grit, and that should be it. I'll give you guys an update when it's done. Give it a thumbs, share, please. All right. I would like to make my own channel, you know, help people out, but I need you guys' help. Thank you. Take care. Here's the carburetor. Sorry, right there. And we're gonna clean it up real good. You know, polish the inside too, gently, without damaging anything in here. And it should improve the flow of the carburetor. Take care.